Punk Revolution now. Today we're going to be talking about Harry Styles because I listened to Harry Styles' newest album that came out this week, last week, Harry's House. Absolute garbage. I was going to initially just do a critical review of it, but frankly, I think we have a bigger problem on our hands than just the fact that Harry Styles is a bad artist. I think everyone at this point already knows, if you have any decent taste in music and art, that Harry Styles is an atrocious musician, he's an atrocious artist, he's got nothing interesting to offer as a human being. Everyone with a brain already knows that, but I think we need to go a step further and say that, Harry Styles, you should be ashamed of the atrocious crap that you're releasing. If you like Harry Styles, you should be ashamed. We need to actually cancel Harry Styles. Being a pretentious music nerd saying, hey, Harry Styles sucks, please stop listening, that's one thing, but we need to go further and say, no. Harry Styles, shame on you. Harry Styles listeners, shame on you. We need to actually full-blown cancel this guy so we can just get rid of him because he's just infuriating. First off, and this is obvious, I don't need to go in too much detail here, is that his music is just super bland, super boring, it just sucks. You can't cancel a musician for making bad music, but Harry Styles makes it tempting to, because Harry Styles, he's making bland pop music. You listen to his most recent album, it's like pop music is supposed to be fun, it sounds like he's exhausted and bored, it sounds like every musician involved in this album is exhausted and bored. It's somehow making dance pop music boring, and he's exploring the genres of synth funk, and pop soul, and genres, these are genres that have, already been thoroughly explored and innovated and created and mastered by black musicians throughout all of American history, and then you have Harry Styles coming up, just picking up these genres, and then just regurgitating them in a very bland, boring way, music that's designed to be playing in the background while you're shopping at Urban Outfitters, and he's getting way more streams than any other black musicians who did this stuff. It's just a typical trope in the music industry of white people picking up genres already thoroughly explored and invented by black people, and then making way more money off doing it. Harry Styles is just doing that trope. He's not the first person to do it, he's not the last person to do it. It's infuriating. I do think people need to acknowledge that and think a little bit more about that when we're talking about Harry Styles and his music. The one musician that comes to mind, frankly, as the most obvious musician that he's copycatting is Prince, because Prince is first off making a fantastic synth funk that was just so brilliant, but Prince also had this gender ambiguity going on where sometimes it's like, what is he he sounds like he's singing as if he's a woman, does he want to be a woman, is he gay, is he straight, what's going on? Prince, you can never really pin down what was going on with Prince's identity, and he even actually at one point identified with a symbol, so you didn't even know what to call him, and that mysteriousness and that gender ambiguity and sexuality ambiguity was really mysterious and really sexy. You put it all together and you get this mysterious, sexy, creative genius, and you watch Prince explore these ideas, and you can just see so much creative passion coming through. And then now you have Harry Styles, who is, you can tell, making pop music that has that synth funk soul influence, clearly inspired by Prince. And then, Harry Styles is leaning very heavily into some sort of, a little bit of breaking gender norm stuff, but while Prince did it in a real mysterious, sexy, cool way, Harry Styles is doing it like this. Look at me, everybody!
I'm wearing a dress. Hey guys, men don't wear dresses, but I do.
I'm completely in favor of men breaking gender norms and dressing and being, feminine and doing all that stuff. I think it's great. I do it all the time. It's cool. It's great. But if Harry Styles is working really hard on an album and he just so happens to be wearing rings and jewelry and, pink clothes and stuff, that's great. Good for him. But to post it on Instagram with a caption being like, yeah, real men wear pink. And yeah, I'm breaking, he's patting himself on the back for it. It's pathetic. It's performative, especially as someone who listens to a lot of music and knows that there's many decades of men, of LGBTQ musicians already who've thoroughly explored that. I mean, I just said Queen back in the 80s. We can go all the way back to the 70s with the New York Dolls, and there's probably plenty of musicians in the 60s and 50s who are at underground clubs who are already doing all this stuff and already thoroughly exploring it. I do find it extremely brave and courageous when I see trans musicians who are making fantastic, innovative, creative music and being themselves and identifying as who they really are. I think that's courageous and brave and beautiful. Harry Styles, who's a cis, white man making bland pop music does not deserve to be on the cover of every fucking magazine and being applauded because he's wearing a dress. It's already been done a million times. There's way more courageous things going on, and it's so performative because he's doing it for the sake of saying, look at me, look what I'm wearing, look what I'm doing, and it's freaking hideous. This to me seems like textbook queer baiting because he's dressing and associating a lot with aesthetics that I associate with queer culture. And that's cool, totally cool and fine. I mean, look what I'm fucking wearing right now. But I'm not going around posting, hey everyone, guys, look, men can wear cat ears too. Like, I'm not applauding myself as if I'm a fucking hero for doing that, okay? I'm doing it because it's fun and funny. Harry Styles is getting his ass licked by the media, even though there's so many other musicians who are doing way more brave, way more interesting, way more creative things. And Harry Styles, when you ask him, so Harry Styles, you clearly are very closely associating yourself with concepts and aesthetics and images that are associated with queer culture. Are you bisexual? Harry Styles could take this opportunity to say, no, I'm straight. But, I really do love queer musicians who have broken the boundaries that have let me dress how I want to, and to be myself, because that's really who deserves the round of applause for the fact that Harry Styles can feel comfortable dressing this way. It's the many, many activists, queer activists, trans people who've actually put the work into putting their lives at risk to break these boundaries down. Harry Styles, instead, when people ask him if he's bisexual, he goes, oh, well, I don't really think we should put labels on it. It's just sexuality is complicated, blah, blah, blah. He's just running in circles, avoiding the simple fact that, yes, he's a straight guy. He's a straight guy. He doesn't want to say it because he knows, as a musician, he has nothing interesting to offer. So the only thing he can offer is this very performative expression of breaking gender norms, and he doesn't want to acknowledge the fact that he's a straight guy doing it. To me, it's just textbook queer baiting. I mean, I know so many, you go on to the Twitter profile of someone who's pansexual or bisexual or gay or trans or whatever, you might see in their bio, pansexual, whatever. And there's a reason they're doing that, because that's an important part of their identity. They're facing discrimination because of it. It's an identity that actually is playing a big role in their life. So while Harry Styles just wants to go, oh, it's so ambiguous, why do people have to care about identities and stuff? I agree, man. It would be great if we lived in a world where we didn't have to, that those identities didn't play a big role, but it is something that plays a big role in people's lives. And just because you're a liberal dude who likes to post on Instagram that you're wearing a dress and get millions of likes doesn't mean you get to pretend that you somehow fall into this ambiguous sexual category. You don't. You're not doing it cool like Prince is doing it. You're not doing it sexy like Prince is doing it. You're not doing it creatively like Prince is doing it. You're not doing it courageously like the many trans and queer musicians throughout history are doing it. You are just doing it and getting your ass licked by the fucking media, always on being on the front page of every fucking magazine, even though I can think of many, many, many trans musicians who are making way more experimental, way more courageous music and deserve the applause that Harry Styles is for some reason getting as a cis, white, straight male making bland music that black people have already perfected. Can we please cancel this dude? Can we please never talk about Harry Styles again? Can we please just acknowledge that this dude is just a fucking celebrity who's just picking elements from other people's cultures and wearing it for himself, acting as if that makes him brave when it doesn't? Because that's all I see him. I want to reiterate, obviously I'm not black. Obviously I'm not queer. So I don't have the authority to talk on these subjects. But I think I can say, just as a human being and as an artist looking at him, like, he has nothing to offer. He has nothing to offer, but he's acting as if he's doing something courageous. It's frustrating. I mean, look at the monthly streams he has compared to Prince. What the hell is wrong with our society? I'm telling you, folks, it's not enough for us to just criticize his horrible music. We need to say, no, Harry Styles sucks ass. And you suck ass if you listen to him. Enough of this shit. I'm not gonna pretend there's anything courageous about this. I'm not gonna fucking go on the front page of the magazine. I don't deserve it, because I'm not doing anything brave. I'm not putting myself at risk out there like many other artists are. Stop it. Stop pretending there's anything. Harry Styles is not creative. He has nothing going on in his brain that's unique or interesting. Cancel him. He's canceled. It's official. Harry Styles is canceled. We're done. No more Harry Styles.